Yes, people, what we're saying. Hope we are all good. Welcome to the YouTube. So, obviously, it'll be a little bit clunky, so please bear with me. But today, I just thought I'd run you through some snippets of what I'm getting up to today. It's a rest day. I am 8 days out from a photo shoot, so we're into the final straight in regards to digging down for condition. So I will pop some pictures up so you can see how we are looking. Took my body weight this morning and I'm at a new low weight of 73.2, which is great. So took those, sent them over to my coach, Morgs. He'll have a look over them. From what I understand, we won't be making any further changes really at this point. It'll just be a case of riding the remainder of this week out. So this week I've trained Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. I've done push, pull and legs. All 3 days have been accompanied with 35 minutes cardio, Stairmaster after the workout itself. And today is a full rest day, so just steps only, so 10 to 12,000 steps to box off. The remainder of the week is going to look like upper body on Friday. There'll be another 35 cardio block there. And then I've got my final cardio block on Saturday, which will be 35 total minutes. Check in with Morgs again on Sunday morning, and we will start to peak for the photo shoot. So just start to reduce inflammation a little bit. Obviously the cardio will be removed, and then obviously he'll make a decision as to if we need extra food and what we are going to need. Of course, there will be some extra carbohydrates going in, but I'm not a 100 kilo bodybuilder. I'm a 73 kilo lad, bloke, whatever you want to call me, just trying to get in really good condition. So yeah, I'll need some carbohydrates, but I can't imagine it being anything crazy. But I'll obviously keep you updated and keep you very much posted on that. I've just woken up, obviously hydrate straight away out the gate. So get some fluid in. As soon as I'm out of bed, try and get a good sort of half a litre to a litre, and then I've got my hydration and my caffeine hit in here as well. So I'll show you what I have. So I do a combination of hydration, so that's got all of your potassium, sodium, magnesium in there as well. Taurine as well, which is obviously good for cramping and things of that nature. And then I use a scoop of CV Burn from Trained by JP, which is a very good product. For the price at just $21.99, you get 60 servings, you get 300 mg of caffeine, green tea extract, L-carnitine in there as well, and that's a really good little boost / focus for me that I like to have every single morning. About half an hour, 40 minutes after waking up, and then I'll do 10 grams of creatine in that as well. So 10 grams of creatine on a rest day in my morning shake, but on a training day I'll take 10 grams in fasted, and then I'll take another sort of 5 to 10 grams in around the workout perimeter. Obviously there's a lot of data at the minute about getting up into those higher amounts of creatine for cognitive benefits in and around that sort of 20, even up to 30 gram mark for people who are a little bit more sleep deprived. But I've not got that far, but I do take in probably around 15 on a training day usually, and then I'll just have 10 on a morning on a rest day. So that sees me good. So yeah, the plan of attack is I will take that in. I'm going to sit at the kitchen table now. Sam is not up just yet. She was at a spa last night at Grantley Hall over near Ripon with her friends, celebrating her friend's 30th. So I was fast asleep and she came in probably about 11 p.m. So I've just sort of picked my stuff up nice and quietly, got out the room, came downstairs and cracked on with my day. So I'm not going to give her a nudge just yet. I'm just going to wait for a little bit. But yeah, I'll take this in, sit. I've got some client replies to do. So I always like to make sure my clients, anyone who's messaged me after, quite late on in the evening, I'll get back to them the following morning just so they've got a response straight away. And then we'll go and get a walk in. Once Sam's up and about, usually try and get 3 to 4k steps in fasted on a morning. and then we usually go up to Starbucks and grab a coffee, but we'll see what we're like for time. And then we've also got our weekly shop to go and do as well. We tend to go to Tesco on a morning and just get that all done. Why it's nice and quiet. Thursday is usually the day we do that as well. So yeah, quite a busy morning doing that, and then got a bit of family to go and visit. And then today, yeah, I'll just take you along for the ride really. Won't be doing a massive amount. I'll probably show you the meals as we go along, show you what I am eating. A very, very measly amount of food right now. But, you know, it's the final couple of rest days. You know, the end is in sight. And last year, I also did a photo shoot as well. But I definitely feel like this year I'm bringing something that is a lot better, which is exactly what I wanted. So, yeah, I'll leave that one there and I'll speak to you all soon. So just in the car now, going to be heading up for a Starbucks. Sam has joined us. Say hello, Sam.
Hello.
So yeah, she's up and about. She's feeling absolutely battered after her spa exploits last night. I think the combination of cold water therapy, was it?
Yeah.
Cold water therapy, sauna, food, and not getting back till late. And she's feeling it today. So yeah, we're going to go and caffeinate. I'll just have one single shot of caffeinated espresso because I've already had a bit of a caffeine hit this morning. Don't like to have too much caffeine. So yeah, we're going to head up there now, grab a coffee. It's a pretty decent morning here, quite cold but not a bad morning at all, but it is 4 degrees. So yeah, go get a coffee, go and get the big shopping at Tesco. So I'll just show you a little snippet of the coffees when they arrive, and we'll go from there. What we got?
Oat milk cappuccino, sugar-free vanilla.
Oat milk cappuccino, sugar-free vanilla. We don't mess about, we don't miss. Rest day coffee going down. Come on. Yeah, so just chilling now in Starbucks. Coffees have gone down. So we're just going to sit here for a little bit. Like I say, nothing too strenuous going on today. It's a rest day. Obviously, I'm pretty depleted, I'm pretty tired. Like I say, getting towards the back end of the pushing and the digging. So yeah, feeling it, but also in really good spirits as well. I think a week tomorrow we'll be there. I'll be down in Manchester and I'll be showcasing, you know, the work that I've done. So yeah, how do you think I've done, Sam?
Smashed it, to be fair.
What's the hardest part of me dieting down when you're not?
Probably just not going out for meals and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'd just have a pizza on my own instead.
Yeah, that's it, yeah. I'll have a Greek yogurt bowl and Sam will eat a pizza. People ask me, how do you do that? How do you get away with that happening and not want to just eat a load of junk yourself? But when you've got a date locked in, you know exactly where you are with things. You've got the discipline, and I've been with Sam when she's dieted down for bodybuilding competitions and seen the depths that she's gone through while I was eating a lot of food during the bulking phase. So we support each other, and I think that is absolutely key. You know, she's definitely noticing me getting a bit ratty, a little bit short on certain occasions. I've not got feel like I've got much patience at the minute, but yeah, she sort of acknowledges that, and she's absolutely spot on, to be fair. So yeah, going to drink these, head to Tesco, get a shopping, then I'm going to go over and see my little grandma, visit her for a bit, get back and try and push my first meal back as long as I possibly can as well. Yeah, try and not eat meal one till around about 10:30-ish, there or thereabouts on a rest day. Try and push the first meal back, and then eat in a shorter feeding window just makes it a little bit easier, because yeah, we don't have a lot of calories to be able to play with, so that seems to work pretty well. So back from the supermarket, back from visiting my grandma, just getting into the house now. It is 20 to 11 and we've still not cooked up meal one just yet, so the longer the better at the minute on these rest days as we ride it out. So what I'm making now is my gut health drink. What that consists of is cold water with a little bit of boiling water just to make it almost like lukewarm. I then go in with 20 millilitres of turmeric and cinnamon ACV. Obviously, as we know, apple cider vinegar creates a better pH balance and acidity in the stomach, meaning that we can digest food a lot better and uptake those nutrients better, which is key. Going with that, and then we've got some ginger powder, 2 grams of this, which again is just going to help create a good environment for the gut and aid in digestive health. Now, obviously, with me being at the back end of a dieting phase, I'm not eating a lot of food, so I should be able to uptake nutrients really well. I'm depleted, I'm in a deficit, my digestion should be on point, but I always do just like to make sure that it absolutely is. And obviously, as we start to introduce some additional carbohydrates, making sure that, again, digestive health is in a good place is going to be key. So just 2 grams of ginger powder. And then L-glutamine, which aids in repairing the gut lining. So a lot of people use glutamine in quite high dosages, spread it evenly throughout the day, but I like to just go in with 10 grams fasted on an empty stomach. That seems to work pretty well for me, and you know, I think it's definitely a good, I always think bang for buck when it comes to supplementation, right? What's going to give you the most benefit for the least amount of cost for 95% of people who just want to look better and feel better year round? They're not asked about optimizing the extra 1-2% and spending hundreds of pounds on supplements. They just want to know where they can get the most bang for the buck, and I definitely feel like creatine, bang for buck in terms of cost fee benefit, is huge. The data around that is massive. L-glutamine for gut health is another one. And then I'll probably say my other sort of 3 would be vitamin D3 and K2. We don't get anywhere near enough in the UK, and please don't go and buy the crappy supermarket ones that have like 300 IU in it or something like that. You know, take a slightly higher dose. I'm on around 8,000 IU of vitamin D3, K2. That puts my blood, when I get my bloods taken, it puts me right at the top end of range, which is exactly where I want to be for immunity, just overall bone health, function, you know, loads and loads of benefits. And when you're deficient, there's a lot of things that can occur and pop up when we do have vitamin D3 deficiency. Magnesium as well is a big one, so making sure you're taking magnesium, a decent quality, either a biglycinate or an L-threonate would be what I would recommend. Having a couple of caps of that a day is just going to allow you to not be deficient, especially if you're exerting a lot of energy, you're exercising a lot, you do deplete your magnesium stores, so you've got to make sure that those are getting replenished, otherwise you can cramp up, it can affect sleep quality, and a few other bits and pieces as well. Then the final one would be omega-3, you know, having a decent fish oil in the mix. Those would be my sort of 5 go-tos really that I think would give you, you know, the most amount of cost benefit. A multivitamin, you could argue, will also just give you a little bit of a backup. You know, if you've got nutritional gaps, if you're maybe not eating as much fruit and veg as what you need to, having a multivit that just acts as a little bit of an insurance policy for the price, again, I think is warranted and is rewarded. The reason omega-3, vitamin D3 and magnesium are really important to supplement is we cannot get anywhere near enough of those vitamin and minerals from food. Okay, you would need to eat about 24 pounds worth of sockeye salmon every single day to hit adequate amounts of omega-3. It makes fucking sense just to supplement it, doesn't it? Vitamin D3 and K2, I think nuts have maybe got a little bit of D3 in them, but you're going to get nowhere near enough than what you would be to supplement. So it's just about using, you know, covering those nutritional gaps the best you possibly can, because the less amount of gaps that you've got nutritionally and with your supplementation, your body is ultimately going to respond a lot better as well, 9 times out of 10. So I'm going to get that down the hatch. Meal one, I've got egg whites, I've got 2 whole eggs, and then I pull a little bit of my salad and veg from meal two, and I put a little bit in meal one, so just some mushrooms and some tomatoes. So I'll show you what that's looking like once it's completed. Just a final one on gut health as well. You can take all the gut health supplements in the world, but if you don't address the root cause of things, it's not going to make a dot of difference. Okay, and what I mean by that is, don't be so married and emotionally attached to certain foods. If certain foods are causing you digestive distress, you need to remove them out of your diet, whether you like them or not. That is one of the biggest things that people are not in tune with. They eat a meal, they're bloated, they're gassy, they don't feel particularly good, but they'll just carry on persisting with that meal thinking it's completely normal. And that is where, being consistent with what you're eating each day is going to be key. So you can pick up and identify on patterns and trends as to when your digestion feels a little bit off. You're in tune with your body. You then know what is causing the issue. You can then remove that food. So you need to remove trigger foods. You need to make sure that foundationally your nutrition is in a good spot. Then you can start to layer on any particular digestive supplements and really look to optimize things further if required. So meal one is finally going down. We've got egg whites, 2 whole eggs, and a little bit of veg. So yeah, no carb meal, a little bit of fat, protein, but it's what's needed to get the job done. So we're going to get stuck into this now, do a little bit of work, got some client replies to do, and a little bit of admin, and then potentially have a little look down for a sauna and freshen up a little bit. So just pulling up the gym now. Gonna have a sauna, gonna jump on the sunbeds, freshen this face up a little bit. I'm looking a bit white, so I've had a quick shave. So yeah, usually on a Thursday we don't have a lot on in terms of sort of client based stuff. I've got a setup to do later, so I've got a new guy who's jumped on the team, which is brilliant. The male side is starting to really build out nicely, and we've got some big things in the pipeline, so stay posted. A big push on building out the male side as much as I possibly can, delivering some really good results, and we're starting to see some traction, which is really good, and I couldn't be more thankful and grateful for that. So yeah, gonna jump in now, sauna, 6 minutes on the sunbed, and then I'll get back and probably prepare meal two. Got a little bit of tidying up to do in the house. So yeah, today it's a rest day. Obviously I'm preparing for a photo shoot, not got a massive amount on, but yeah, just break up the day, come down the gym, quick little freshen up, switch off a little bit in the sauna, and then back home. And yeah, it's a nice day, so we'll probably get our next meal in, do a little bit of cleaning, maybe go out for a walk, and then I'm going to get my head down and crack on with a bit of a client setup at that point. Next meal going down. So we've got chicken, got some salad, lettuce rocket, cucumber, and a few jalapenos, and some mustard and some ketchup on that. And then rather than jasmine rice, I've got ESN's rice pudding in there with some cinnamon and some salt. So yeah, this meal will go down. Been for a sauna, been for a sunbed, had a little bit of a freshen up as well. So feeling good. 2:45 now, second meal going down. So I've done quite well in terms of being able to space these meals out. It means I've got another 3 meals to eat before I go to bed, which is great. So yeah, going to crack on with this, and then I'm going to get stuck into a client setup. One thing I'm noticing though, and I spoke about this on my Instagram story the other day, I don't feel particularly hungry now. It's when I eat a meal and it doesn't touch the sides, that's when the hunger starts actually kicking in. So it's like, I'm looking forward to a meal in one hand, but then on the other hand, I'm like, I eat, and then I'm just like ravenous straight away. So yeah, it's a bit of a head fuck, but it is what it is. Not long to ride out. Spoke to my coach Morgs, who said last sort of push day really will be, I'm going to send him some pictures over on Saturday, and we'll see what the visuals are looking like and go from there. So yeah, we're in the home straight. Whatever gets thrown at me now, I can handle. And yeah, I'll take you along for the ride. So just out and about now, getting some steps in. Lovely day for it, to be fair. Got a 10 to 12k step target, so break that up into 2 free walks on a rest day, and usually 2 walks is enough on a training day because I'll accumulate a few in and around the gym. So yeah, we'll go out for about 15-20 minutes here, just do a little lap and a loop of the local area, get back. I'm going to film a bit of content as well, so we've got meal free going down. Apologies, I've not got the mic on. We've got an air fryer, oat cake. I will provide the recipe for that in an up and coming video. It's flattened off a little bit there because I used a bit too much water, but essentially that is 40 grams of oats, very, very small amount of oats, 40 grams of banana, 15 dark chocolate, and a little bit of whey. And then I've got my whey drip in the side, and that is absolutely lovely. It's like a dessert, but obviously it doesn't touch the sides, but it's a nice meal, nice sweet treat. It's 5 o'clock and I'm only just eating meal free now, so just been filming up a little bit of content. Gonna eat this, crack on with a little bit more content. I've got some form feedback to give, so I'm gonna have a good chat with you all about that and the what's and the whys around form clips that we get from our clients, and then crack on with a new setup later. So yeah, it's been a pretty busy day. Here's the stage here. Content is going down. We're in film mode, yeah? Yeah. My towel and all the socks all over the radiator, they're looking nice.
On there?
Over there. So just spending a little bit of time now going through some execution clips from clients. So what we'll do is we'll get our clients to send us over clips of their training so we can have a look over them and review them. And the reason we do that is because quite often you won't know yourself. You will find it difficult to be able to judge yourself critically without actually filming any of your sets and any of your exercises. It's crazy how much more progress our clients make, or shall we say the ones who make the most amount of progress are the ones who are sending over regular form clip feedback and, you know, asking for that critical analysis from someone who's more experienced in myself and Sam. And we've both been there ourselves. We've both had coaches. We both thought, oh, our training's fine. Our training's been ripped apart from start to finish. You know, I remember the first coach that I signed up with, you're not training hard enough, your form shit. And I've been training like that for years. And it's funny, when he started to talk to me about that, over the last few years, since having a coach and having people that I've sent over form clips to, my training has come on leaps and bounds, and my physique has also improved significantly as well. I just wish I'd done that sooner and I'd not thought that I was actually training as well as what I could. So yeah, we always ask for clients to send over the form clips. We send a Loom video response where we can obviously use a little pen and a tool to draw, you know, any areas that we feel like they can be in better positions for. And also, you know, the big thing that we're looking for is intensity. What we see a lot is clients getting to a point where the set starts to get a little bit difficult and stepping away from that set and retreating. And, you know, that's the easy thing to do because the muscle wants to avoid being pushed somewhere that it doesn't want to be. But that is where the progress lives. At the end of the day, we have to create, in simple terms, an adaptive response for that muscle to grow, to change and develop. So food for thought, if you've been training for years and you're not changing shape year on year, of course your diet needs to support what you do, but what you do on the gym floor is absolutely key. You know, are you training with the right level of intensity, or are you just ego lifting stupid weights with incorrect form? You know, that is quite often the two areas that we see, whether it's a male or whether it's a female. Quite often, this isn't me being sexist at all, but the men will lift heavier, but with poor sloppy form, no control of the movement, and allowing other muscle groups to come in and take over the load. So that actually then just starts to become more powerlifting, where you're just literally moving a weight from A to B, On the female side, one of the big issues that we see is a lack of intensity and a lack of wanting to, go into the harder repetitions, that final 2 or 3 reps when shit gets really, really difficult. So yeah, have a think about it, have a look at your training, pop a comment below training if you agree with this or if you want any support with it at all, and we can reach out and have a chat. Yeah, so with this tricep push down, what we are doing is we're allowing our elbows to come too far up, okay? What we want to make sure that we're doing is we come a little bit closer to the cable stack. We want to be further underneath the cable stack, further underneath, and then we just literally want to keep the elbow nice and fixed, and we're just driving down, okay? The elbow is staying constantly fixed in place throughout the full duration of the movement. So we're just driving the weight down in that movement, rather than allowing the elbows to come out of position up here, okay? And then we end up in a position where the elbow starts to get actually detached and the tension comes off the tricep, whereas the movement is literally just a straight push down, but we need to get closer and further underneath the cable stack for that to be more effective. We've got meal 4 going down at 10 to 7. We've got mince, 150 grams, some courgette, a little bit of red onion, 50 grams, and then we've got 125 grams of potato, so literally next to nothing in terms of potato, and then 30 grams of carrot mixed in and made into a little mash there. So yeah, not a particularly big meal, but it's 10 to 7, so I'll eat now, and then I'll eat my final meal at about 8:15, there or thereabouts. So gonna eat this, crack on with getting a new client set up, onboarding onto the team. I probably won't finish that tonight, but I want to get a good chunk of it done, and I'll walk you through a little bit of the process about how we onboard out some of our clients as well, and how we take them through that process to integrate them in, to make sure that they're in the best possible place to maximise their progress straight out the gate. We like to do things with a client setup is, so this particular client reached out, was interested in working with us. So what I do in that situation is send them over an inquiry form. They fill out the inquiry form, and then there's 2 different options at that point. We can either jump on a call if they want to, really get into detail with things. We can jump on a call, find out what the issues are, and obviously get something mapped out for them that way. Or a lot of the time, I can just send over a detailed Loom video, which will map them out a timeline. And I think I spoke about this on an Instagram post recently. Having a strategy and having a timeline is absolutely crucial, because if you don't know where you're heading, how are you supposed to commit? How are you supposed to give what you're doing the energy, be able to bounce back from setbacks, which is part and parcel of the process, and be able to see anything through? And that is why so many people, whether that's men and women, spin the wheels. They're bulking for a week, they're cutting for a week, they're eating good, they're, in women's case, they're drinking cup of soups and eating go-ahead bars, and then on an evening they're binging. So that there's a multitude of issues going on. It's because that person doesn't know where it is that they're going. They know they want to lose weight, but they don't know how they're getting there. What is the strategy? What is the plan? Where are they supposed to be after month 1, month 2, month 3? Once you start to be able to get clear on that, adherence then becomes a lot easier, because you can commit to something. You've got trust in the process. So fill out an inquiry form, get that all mapped out, send that across to the individual who applies. They give a yes or a no. This particular lad has jumped on, made the payment, and now we go through a setup process. So I've sent over to him an onboarding form, so he fills that out in detail, and this is everything. This goes through the ins and outs of a fart. So this is, around his diet, his structure, his routine, what his goals are, everything. So I've got a full detailed breakdown of exactly what I am working with that individual, and then I can try and tailor the plan the best as I possibly can to that person. Quite often now, plans are out there. There's loads of fucking plans. You can go on ChatGPT, you can go wherever you want and pick up a plan. So why are more people not in shape? Because the plan is not right for them. They don't have accountability and they don't have a strategy. So get the onboarding form in, and then I'll take the client through the setup process, which is mapping in their custom training plan, their custom nutrition guidance, so whether they're following like a macro split that we provide them based on their body weight, or if they're following a specific tailored meal plan depending on what it is that they can commit to, what they've got access to. And then I will send them over a detailed onboarding video covering everything, so what days they're going to be checking in, what their timeline looks like, so they've got all of that, and we're at a really, really good start point. Then the plan is just a base. I always say that to people, you know, the plan is never going to be perfect straight out the gate, but that's when the coaching service really comes into its own. That's when we can communicate with clients, we can find out what's working, find out what isn't, and really make that plan then much, much more watertight. Then again, that is going to allow for another level of adherence and progress. So yeah, going to crack on with that for a little bit now. I've got about an hour or so before I prep my final meal, and then that will be me done. So yeah, I'll catch up with you all very, very soon. Anything to add from you?
Nah.
She's
I'm just in my own little bubble.
Yeah, she's full of combo this. So final meal time has arrived. Definitely tired now. So yeah, ready to eat this and ready to chill out. So what have we got? We have yogurt, frozen fruit, nut butter, and Leon cereal whey from ESN, which is basically like Lion cereal. It's got little chunks in, like caramel flavour. Very, very nice indeed. So yeah, we're going to get stuck into that. It's been a productive day, got a lot done. Plenty of walks, chilling out, freshened up. Obviously, yeah, all my meals, client work done. And also we've been able to film some content and stuff as well. And yeah, sort of filming this YouTube video has definitely made me less distracted. I've been on the ball, been obviously remembering to pick up the camera on at regular intervals as well. So yeah, it's been a new experience, but one I've actually enjoyed. And yeah, obviously the food's low. I will put the full macro breakdown here for today. So yeah, pretty low food. I'm 73.2 kg this morning. So I was a new low body weight this morning. So we are digging down for this final sort of couple of days. But this is probably the worst of it's over now. I've got training day food tomorrow, so a little bit more food, and obviously training to distract me as well. I'll check in with Moggs on Saturday. He'll give me the lay of the land. I'll do my final cardio day, and to be fair, that'll be probably another day exactly like today. And then probably from Sunday onwards, we may bring that baseline food up a little bit and start to, you know, wash off some fatigue, which I fucking hate that term. But yeah, just sort of freshening things up a little bit, not doing anything daft, and then yeah, move into next week and start to drip feed a little bit of food in. And then yeah, big dance is next Friday. So yeah, thanks for everyone for tuning in, much appreciated. These will be coming every single week. I'll try and get a few more done up until the photo shoot. I'll try and film the photo shoot day as well, give you as much detail and insight as I can to, you know, me, my life, what I do, my habits, the way I set things up, and try and provide you some education and some value along the way as well. So yeah, thanks everyone for tuning in, and I'll speak to you all soon. Like, share, subscribe.